Hey, what's going on, guys? We got some massive DLC 3 news today. We got a new Survivor reveal, as well as a release date. Finally, it only took them a release date for a release date, only to not have a release date, but now we have a release date, so I'm getting pretty ready to release here pretty soon. If that's all you care about, it's coming out November 18th, a little bit over a month. I'm pretty excited for it. But we are going to be watching the Dev Diary today, as well as the Survivor trailer. So stick around for that. Again, I have played with the Survivor, so I can't say too much. I'm under an NDA, and I'm going to kind of talk about that a little bit at the end of this. But let's watch this trailer here. Larva in a bag. I don't think this is a surprising Survivor to anyone. I think just kind of by order of elimination, you could probably guess it was Drifter. I mean, there's only so many Survivors it could have been, since we knew it was a returning Survivor. We knew it's not going to be like Sniper, because you have Railgunner. Enforcer, I think, would be a weird pick. Pilot, very similar to Operator already. So I think just based off of that alone, a lot of people were kind of guessing it would be Drifter. And this is one that I'm really happy is in the game. If they moved like Enforcer, I would have been so sad. Sorry to any Enforcer lovers out there. It's just not for me. What is happening right now? We got the classical music. Oh my, Kaleidoscope Cube. That was a really good ability in Returns. Cube was great. Can't wait to stack them up and create a 9/11 tribute video. No, I'm not gonna do that. I might do that. I don't know. Oh, you can just grab shit in your back. You can just toss a loader at him to kill it. What the hell? Oh. They almost did the tribute video. I'm telling you, people are gonna do that.
Fourth and final pre-release devlog for Alloyed Collective. Before we take a closer look at
that
Drifter
map
and
looks
her
so
abilities,
good.
let's get into that release info you've all been patiently waiting for. Alloyed Collective will release on the 18th of November 2025 for the same cost as the previous DLCs.
Hell yeah.
At an SRP of $14.99
Okay.
in the US. As far as
$500.
regional prices, whatever the SRP that Seekers of the Storm is in your location right now, that's the price that Alloyed Collective will be. Is it worth wishlisting Alloyed Collective now that you know when the release date is? Of course it is. Go and do it right now so you know the instant it's dropped.
I don't think I've ever used the
for our
wish
Nintendo
list
Switch
feature.
players,
I'll be
The team
honest.
has a couple of additional improvements we
Well, I
want
don't
to
really
make
see
before
the
releasing Alloyed Collective on the
point.
Switch. Unfortunately, these changes won't be completed in time for our original target, so the Switch
Okay,
version will
yeah.
arrive a bit later. Alloyed
I mean,
Collective will launch
okay.
on PC and both generations of
Where's my
Xbox and
mouse?
PlayStation.
So the Switch is getting delayed. It seems like it's going to come out for Xbox and PlayStation at the same time, so that is good, and it's not going to be a disaster this time, I hope. But it's not coming to Switch. I wonder if they're going to do any enhancements for Switch 2, because Switch is still, I think, considered the worst port of the game, even after all the updates. What can you do? It's a hardware thing. The Nintendo Switch runs on a microwave. Microwave is probably more spec'd out than your Nintendo Switch. So maybe they'll do some upgrades for Switch 2, but I don't know.
On November the 18th, with the Nintendo Switch release date to be
Nintendo
confirmed
things.
once we've completed the final round of optimizations. Introduced in Risk of Rain Returns, Drifter is making the leap into 3D, landing with the best of her brawler support kit from Returns. But worry not, there will be some brand new exciting additions to her kit, the likes of which we've never seen in Risk of Rain before, and probably thought we never would. Key to mastery of Drifter and her abilities is managing her unique resource, Junk. Yes,
Junk.
we're gonna call it scrap like in Returns, but scrap's already a thing in Risk of Rain 2, so it's junk now. Just go.
Yeah, this was a really confusing thing when we were playing this at Gearbox. Everyone kept calling the junk scrap, and I think people were starting to get fed up with it. But it's just confusing. There's also, I think, a thing called salvage in this. So junk, scrap, salvage, people are going to get confused. I already know that people are going to be mixing these terms up all the time. I'm ready for it.
Generated by attacking enemies, junk litters the battlefield until you collect it. It's up to you to choose if you use it up as quickly as you can to empower your attacks, or max out the meter, unlocking the full potential of Drifter's most powerful abilities. Her most reliable source of junk is her primary attack, Blunt Force.
Interesting that
With
they're not
Blunt
showing
Force,
off
Drifter does a
the
triple melee swing with her
default
massive
secondary here.
sack.
What did he just say?
With
Wait,
blunt
hold up.
with a massive stack blunt force. With blunt force, Drifter does a triple melee swing with a massive sack.
Oh, John.
With blunt force, Drifter does a triple melee swing with a massive sack.
It's funny. I can't believe they let him get away
170%
with that.
damage per swipe. The third attack in the sequence is a larger 300
Maybe he just has, like,
damage slam, which also
Full
stuns
editorial
enemies.
control.
Each one of these attacks has a chance of beating some junk out of your foe. There are some
Yeah, this is a
more
great
special
ability.
features of Blunt Force,
It's like
but
it
they
was in
all
Returns.
involve other abilities, so we'll be talking about those as they come up further in the dev diary. One such interaction involves her unlockable secondary attack.
Yeah, they're talking about the unlockable.
Usually in
Weird.
these dev diaries, I focus on the Survivor's base kit and let you discover the unlockable skills for yourself.
Yeah.
But with it being a fan favorite from Returns,
Oh, they're
and
doing
being
it.
featured so prominently in the
They're
reveal
doing
trailer,
it.
how could I not
Just
switch
one
things up
more.
and highlight her unlockable secondary ability, Junk Cube. Slam down a huge cube of
Never
junk
forget.
for 400% damage, which you can then whack with blunt force a further 3 times before the cube blows up for a final 800% damage. You can even cast aside the laws of physics
Very
and
similar
ride the
to
cube while you
Returns.
slap it with blunt force, turning Drifter
that is
into
so
a
cool, you
guided
can
missile
ride the
of death
cube.
and destruction. If you've got a lot of junk in the sack, you can If you've got a lot of junk in the sack, you can bypass the ability cooldown by consuming 4 junk and immediately creating another cube. This allows Drifter to turn her precious resource into multiple cubes of
Make sure to leave a
chaos.
like on the video if you've
Using
got
Drifter's
junk in
brand new
the sack.
utility ability Repossess,
Very
you can even
important.
pick up the junk cube and throw it directly at your enemies. I wonder how many other objects you could pick up and throw with Repossess. Yes. The answer is yes. She really can
You
pick
pick
up
up
and throw
fucking
anything that
everything.
isn't bolted down.
That's great.
Even a few things that probably should be. In fact, unless
the
it would be
multi-shot.
completely game-breaking,
Helpful for, like,
picking up the
moving
teleporter and
stuff.
throwing it off the stage would be questionable.
Can't grab the
game design at
teleporter.
best. Chances are Drifter can repossess it.
But like on Treeborn Colony, for instance, that map just loves throwing items off the edge. There is so much void space on that map. So as Drifter, what you can do is you can just grab the multi-shops or chests that are going to go off and just put them in a spot that you can collect the items. It's really cool.
While being held in your bag, the primary blunt force does additional damage based on the mass of the object you have held, and you gain additional junk from killing enemies this way. However, everything held has a health bar, so using blunt force repeatedly while holding onto the chest you promised to keep safe may not be a wise plan.
Ooh, there's a clover in there
Some
for
of the
sure.
objects you can pick up even have unique interactions with enemies.
Oh.
For example, if you lob a wisp at an enemy, it'll set that enemy on fire.
That's
I won't
cool.
spoil these interactions
I didn't know that.
Okay,
I did not discover that.
we cannot wait to see the creativity the community uses with this ability to break the game in ways we had not even considered. A couple
No.
of my favourites include a pretty
He just
broken
bopped
interaction
him.
involving one of Captain's beacons. And once during testing, Bruno was taking his sweet time looting the stage, so I relocated.
Wait, that's crazy. So if you're on a team with a drifter and a captain, right? You take the hack beacon. If you're drifter, you just pick up the beacon, move it to every chest on the map. You can hack everything. That's ridiculous. I guess maybe it would only have a certain amount of health, but you can open a lot of stuff with that. That what?
Turrets to the teleporter without him knowing.
What the f?
It feels like an exploit, but
And speaking
they're
of
telling us you can
helping
do it.
teammates, that leads us to the very last ability we'll be revealing, Salvage. Drifter's special ability, Salvage.
Yeah,
is the
there you
one
go.
bit of her kit that
Salvage.
has been essentially
Junk,
unchanged between
salvage,
Returns and
scrap.
Alloy Collective. Once your junk meter is 80% full, you can consume it all and generate 4 temporary items. Salvage is where the support part of Brawler support comes into play. You can take all of these items for yourself or share them with your teammates, whether you like it or not.
Sonorous.
But Mr. Community Manager,
So with items like that, you just get permanent items. Like if you get like a temporary shipping request form, you go to the next stage. You get a permanent item for that or a temporary item. Or like Sonorous Whispers, you just saw it there. You kill a boss with the temporary Sonorous. Does the boss drop a normal item or a temporary item? You might be able to do some like exploits with that, and maybe like a 24-hour stage 2 drifter video coming out. I don't
doesn't
know.
that mean that temporary items are a
You might
new
be able
item
to
type in
do
the
some
DLC
weird
that you've
stuff.
managed to deftly keep secret throughout these amazing dev diaries? It sure does, Billy. And forcing your friends to play as Drifter so you can follow them around waiting for them to use Salvage is not the only way to get temporary items in
Ooh,
Alloy
look at that.
Collective.
You got the duplicator, and then just like temporary item
Now we're done with
terminals
the
there.
final
pretty
pre-release
cool.
dev diary, and we're so close to Alloyed Collective, I wanted to take a moment to thank everyone who has followed along over the last few months. After seeing everyone's reactions to the Seekers of the Storm post-released improvement phases, and now seeing everyone get excited for Alloyed Collective,
Yeah, I've been trying to
the whole
release
team
for
cannot
months
wait
for
you to get your
sure.
hands on the latest
You
edition
don't even
to Risk of
know.
Rain. During these dev diaries, I've showcased and previewed all the exciting content you're used to: survivors, stages, items, enemies, etc. There is, however, even more content in Alloyed Collective.
That's true.
that we've
There's some
not
big things
even
they haven't
hinted
shown
at.
off.
Systems, stages, encounters. There is some amazing stuff in there that you are 100% not expecting that I am desperate to tell you about. But for the sake of your own ability to discover it all, I shall refrain. Just know that it took a lot of effort to keep my big mouth shut. Make sure you let us know what you think of Drifter and Alloyed Collective when it's released on November 18th. The best place to do that is right on our Discord. The link is down in the description.
Go check it out,
along
guys.
with the link
I'll
to
leave
go
a
and
link to the
wishlist
Steam
Alloyed
page in the
Collective.
description.
Please go and wishlist Alloyed Collective, and we'll speak to you again real soon. Thanks again. Bye for now.
They want everyone to wishlist it so bad. Him kind of talking about like the surprise of everything though kind of makes me want to hit on a few things here. Just kind of talking about, I guess, my experience with this phase of development, I guess, because it has been different than it was last year. Because obviously I got to play this back in April. I feel like it kind of ruined it for me. Like, I know the things he's talking about here that he hasn't shown off. And I would be so hyped if I knew nothing about it. I know it sounds kind of stupid to complain about playing it early, but I don't know. I don't know if I'll do that again for future DLCs, if there are any. I do really like the surprise, and I think it just helps a lot when it comes to like motivation for making content. I am still excited for this DLC to release, but obviously like the surprise factor just isn't there for me. It's tricky though, because, you know, obviously the reason I played it was to give feedback on the game. I don't want there to be another DLC 2 situation where it releases and it's just a disaster, when I could have like given feedback on it, right? So I do want to be able to do that, but you know, it's just hard because it spoils all of the content for me, and it makes me not as excited about it. But I think that is going to be all for this. Is there anything that they didn't talk about here? Drifter, just a super fun survivor. I really enjoy the survivors in this expansion. I think it does it better than DLC 2 for sure. It does it better than DLC 1. Both Operator and Drifter are extremely fun survivors. And I'm looking forward to them coming out. I don't know what they're going to do for post-launch content for this, because obviously DLC 2 is kind of a weird situation. But I do hope that they stick around and do some updates for this even after it comes out, because I'm sure there's going to be some bugs that slip through the cracks here. It's just kind of inevitable. Even DLC 1 had bugs, right? I don't think it's going to be as bad as Seekers, especially... Seekers especially was crazy. Tying frame rate to like all of the game's mechanics. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. But, you know, there probably will be a few, and I think that's okay, as long as they go back and fix them. There's still some DLC 2 bugs that I want to see them fixed. Warped Echo is still broken in E8. False Sun Phase 1 is, I think, bugged. There's no way to dodge that initial hit when he runs at you. Like, he will teleport into your dodge, so, like, no matter what direction you run, he will hit you. And it does a gazillion damage. That first phase of False Sun is just crazy. The other phases are 100% okay. I wouldn't say 100% because they are a little bit, I don't know. False Sun is just kind of a strange boss, and that's probably affected by Eclipse, in my experience, a little bit, but I don't know. I do think there's some more polish that could be done on Seekers. Like, Seekers, I think Icebox is still broken on Chef. They broke it in the last update, and I don't think it's been fixed. So I hope they go back and do some of that stuff. I am just rambling at this point, though, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Leave a like if you enjoyed and you want to see more. Subscribe if you want to keep up to date on news for Risk of Rain 2, because this is my main game, and I'm going to be covering it here a lot on the channel, especially throughout the next few months. I'm pretty excited. But that's going to do it, and I hope you guys all have a good one. Ta-ta for now.